we are.
All right, what's happening? We are live,
and we're early.
Yeah. Technical difficulties as usual.
How's everyone doing today? Let me see if I can pull up the chat. Talk amongst yourself while I pull up the chat.
Well, you know the saying, better than a poke in the eye with a blunt stick.
Better than a poke in the eye.
I did get poked in the eye.
Yeah, that sucks.
Uh,
It seems as bad as it's about to sound. Probably it seems like you were kind of due. Like eventually you have to get kind of poked in the eye, don't you? Working.
it's rite of passage, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, it's happened before. Don't worry about that.
Oh,
Getting
okay.
sawdust in the eye, and I think there's sawdust in there as
Oh.
well. But yeah, I feel like my eye's a bit scratched. It's a bit puffy and red, and it's all good.
You got the first appearance of the eye patch.
I am not a doctor, but you probably honestly need to.
You're an eye doctor.
I said I'm not, one, but you should probably go see one. I would imagine.
Can you sponsor him?
If mine was here, to say that, she probably would be saying that you should go see one. I would imagine.
I'll be right.
I didn't do spoil. Yeah, we already saw that you didn't do slides, you jerk. I don't know what the hell kind of crap that is. It's outrageous.
He was watching the next episode too much. He couldn't.
So because he didn't do slides, I don't even have a clue what we're doing. What are we even doing here? Like, what's the game plan tonight? What are we doing? What's the show about?
Well,
Cobb Vanth and Co.
Cobb Vanth and Co. The Mandalorian 1.4. Again, another episode. This episode, you can say though, episode 6 does have Boba Fett in it for less than 60 seconds, featuring a nod. That's about it. He nods. As soon as I saw him on the screen and Fennec was walking around, I'm like, he's not gonna speak, is he? And then he just nodded. I was like, oh fuck, he isn't gonna do it.
It was interesting. I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, it was great that episode. Honestly.
But we'll talk about some of the ups and downs for me, because it's funny because I'm gonna be like, there's ups. Oh my God, Chris, shut up! It's like you've been doing it all day. It's like, oh, I was watching the final and it sucked. I'm so glad you're helping me with that. Okay, so anyways.
So just to be clear, we never watched last night's episode or yesterday.
No, we did not. And he knows that. That's why he keeps sending me messages all the time, that jerk.
So we've not watched the finale. This is episode 6 review.
Yes. No episode. We have not seen the finale. All right, so I'll just hit this first little thing. Also, by the way, our Lord and Overlords Disney, I do not own any of these clips. Thank you, Disney, for all your wisdom and your wise, sage-like stuff that you do not kick me off YouTube as many times as you got me for copyright.
Cop says,
and these stripes indicate I'm the marshal of said territories. Think it through.
All right.
Why was that so jittery?
I don't know. No idea. Because Kachunga's in here and he's killing our internet.
slowest draw on Tatooine was.
They still couldn't do it. The slowest draw, and they still couldn't outdraw him. I looked at that, and he only shot twice and killed 3, so that's awfully suspicious if you go back and look at it.
I thought it was a great cold open.
Yeah, it was good. I think he's more. I still say they're gonna find a way to make him your boy with the cyborg face. There's something going on with him. I'm telling you.
No,
they're doing too much lingering on him. There's something more in store for him. I'm telling you.
Yeah, the mods are gonna give him a whole new shoulder.
Well, maybe that. Maybe he's gonna be the one-armed bandit. But I'm just saying, like, there's something. I don't know. They're just doing a lot of lingering on him. But anyway, so he goes and he basically meets the spice runners and says, "Not in my town, Pilgrim." It was a very western-y feel. The whole thing was.
Yeah. Just like in The Mandalorian, it was really western-y. You know, I mean, The Mandalorian itself has kind of had that feel, but when Cobb Vanth was in it, that really stepped it up to, you know,
If I could do that meme where it says, "What is the difference between this one and this one?" It would say, "What is the difference between Mandalorian and Boba Fett?" And it would say, "They're the same. There is no difference." Because you were saying it was like that in the Mandalorian, but I got news for you, my friend. The last 2 episodes are the Mandalorian.
The bad and the ugly. It took me back, you know.
So anyway, they showed he was a badass again. I'm telling you, they're showing he's a badass. Maybe they're doing it because they're setting it up for my boy, who we'll talk about in a minute.
Maybe we'll get a whole show just about that comment.
I don't know if we need a whole show. That's a little too much, but I don't know about that. So anyway, for 2 seconds we get to see Boba where he talks to Mandalorian, and Mandalorian says, "I'll be back. I'm going to get some backup."
Yeah, so he nods. That's it, and
at least he's not making some cringy like. Come on, dude. He can make some kind of cringy speech about loving the neighbor or something. I like this. I like this one. Book of Mandalorian, episode 6.
Yeah.
So he lands next to them and says, "Hey, I need you here." You know what I didn't notice until I watched it like the second time? I think I watched it 3 times, honestly, because I watched it the second time. I kind of fell asleep. So then I watched it a third time. Was in the place. Poor Mike, where you
Sounds
been?
like me. That's what I do when I watch it.
They had the dragon that they beat in the other show, The Mandalorian. You know,
crate. That's the greater crate dragon skull.
Yeah, he's like you see his ribcage inside of the thing, and then later on you see it on the top of the
Jawas.
The Jawas thing. That's kind of a cool little thing.
I was just saying, like, that's how you do. That's how you get tourism and
yeah. Hey, they don't get just spare parts from ships. They get them from dead animals.
It's like the rainforest cafe of Tatooine.
Well, we did also find a disturbing thing about Star Wars, that in fact they do have colonialism there for our modern people who get very offended by everything. So they decided to change the name of the town from whatever the local dialect was to Freedom Town. I thought that was very unsensitive of them to change the town from Kyle's Babubi to Freedom Town.
Pelago to
Freedom Town. Apparently those two were in a show together, like Deadwood or something. The bartender and the sheriff. They're into some. I don't know the name of the TV show, but I saw somebody talking about
Deadwood. It's what he's in.
And they're both in there. The guy who plays the bar guy, the guy in the makeup, he's the guy that, with him on that show too. They kind of redid it. So, anyways, what did you guys think of this scene? 2 shots, 3 deaths.
Yeah, pretty good.
Think it over. Pilgrim.
Great open.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about. I mean, do you really need that thing where he's so good that he's going to kick over like probably $1 million worth of, million credits worth of spice dust? Like, is he really? Yeah. Do we really need that? That we show how good he is? He's like, I don't need this.
I don't know how
stinking
I feel about
dust messing my town up.
How's he planning to sell it?
I don't know, but that's what that whole world is known for. That's the other thing. I'm not sure the long-term goal of these people, because you're in a planet that's desert and it has no resources other than its ability to have slaves and drugs.
There is one thing that actually confused me about the opening, right?
What's that?
So they were presumably buying the spice, right?
That's right.
They were all Pikes. Who are they
buying?
I was
wondering about that
too.
Who
are they selling to? Who are they buying from? This is insider trading, right?
Yeah, but it says, are there different Pikes? Like that's blue Pike, that's red Pike or something? Like that's blue squad, red squad,
the
gold squad?
And the bloods of the Pikes.
That's weird. You're right about that.
I don't recall spice being, traded in Tatooine before.
Yeah,
Has it been a thing? Because I know it is in Dune, but that's because they mine it.
Yeah, it's basically just drugs overall, but they're from Kessel, so like, why are they?
If they allow slavery and everything else, I'm pretty sure they allow everything's open for business.
Yeah.
All right, so then
they
what's
did
up
seem
next?
pretty skittish, though. They were pretty skittish. They were afraid of consequences of not actually getting through with this deal. So.
But they didn't see the guy walking in the desert, presumably walking up to them from a distance.
Yeah, he was. Listen, he's. I did notice that they had the old gun on the hip. It's obviously an old Western thing. They kind of led with that opening shot on the hip. I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, the whole thing is basically a big giant Western. Now that we're back at the Mandalorian and we got rid of the silly Boba Fett show. And then I guess Mandalorian at that point, there's some more stuff, but he decides to take off and go hunt for his little buddy. Let me tell you something. I'm not digging that. Like, I know that I'm probably in the minority because everybody loves their relationship. It's just weird to me. Like, I know that he's like close to him and everything, but this thing where he's like, I gotta have my little buddy. It's just, I don't know. It just doesn't feel right to me. Like, I just don't like the whole like.
Well, it shouldn't. He's a Mandalorian.
It just doesn't like. I haven't seen him in weeks. I'll be right back. I gotta go fly across a universe. Also, how did he know where he was? I thought this was like a nondescript because we don't even know the name of that planet. By the way,
Wait,
like,
it's
not
Yavin.
officially.
It's Yavin 4.
They say it's not.
It's one of the moons of Yavin because that's where Luke had set his school up.
Because they said that they've never actually named the planet that his school was on. I read that on StarWars.com. No, they said that they have never actually named it. Go look. And they said that you also don't see the big giant planet that is red. You would have seen it when he flew in.
He flew in.
It's a huge
it's on the back.
Hey, you could be right. I'm just going by what the articles I was reading said.
It's underneath it, dude.
Underneath the planet.
But I will say from this point, this is where I really like the show. And this is also where okay. I mean, they did the best they could. It was very beautiful. It was like it went from a Western to a Kung Fu movie almost, because it was like all the bamboo and the really pretty, serene stuff. And we got some pretty awesome, which let me
Nostalgia.
We got some pretty awesome. I actually really like these things. So he comes up and he's talking and he sees Ahsoka. And they're building a school, and I don't think we've ever seen these droids. Have we ever seen these robots?
I've never seen them before.
Not identified. It is the same planet where Luke had his.
What is that? I don't know what that is.
You pulled the new Rockstars clip out. I see.
Yeah, I did not though. That's really weird. I must be the person I actually got that clip from. Must have got that clip from New Rockstars. New Rockstars. I will send you the message of the person I got that from, because that is not who I clipped that from. But anyways, they are very. They look the same kind of like makeup as the spider droids do, except more like modern, basically, like how the legs are. Yeah. And they're basically they're building the what do you call it? The school, I guess, like one stone at a time. Let me ask you a question: Is that place is it safe? Because I don't see any mortar. Is why I'm concerned.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's just the old
Dome shape. It's a perfect shape.
Yeah, that is weird. Hold on a second. That is weird because that is not where I got that from. That is the underlining audio in that. Oh, naughty.
But yeah, so essentially, yeah, it's just stacked like pure gravity holding those together.
Are they similar to the ones in the sequels?
It's supposed to be the same exact place. Where his temple is, at least.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did it get covered in ocean all of a sudden? Within a matter of how long?
Not the rock that he was on, exile. The one in the flashback to when the temple burns down.
Okay.
But it's the same. It's the same rock design, actually. So
Same buildings. That's what I was thinking.
He probably did some. What's that term called?
Knockoff.
Knockoff. Yeah. What was it? He outsourced the labor from the people who did that.
Right. It was already programmed into the robots.
They just met like a 3D printer, and they just missed the rocks into the spots. But he meets Ahsoka there, and then they go on their little walkabout after talking for a bit.
Anyway, sorry, I was trying to figure that out. That's really weird.
She must be getting on at this point too, right?
Well, it's funny because it's hard. Like, it's weird. I know the reasoning why they made the Tortuga head part the way it is for that, but it's so weird because it's hard to judge the age now in my brain. Because like, how old is she supposed to technically be, right?
I don't know, because it's really hard, obviously, because of the fact that when we saw her in Rebels, she was almost a totally different looking person. So I don't even know.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, it was.
I liked her so much more in Rebels because she seemed like a whiny Anakin in Clone Wars.
Okay, so Or 30s.
But she's a bit younger than Boba, right? Or is she about the same age? Been older, actually.
She'd be older because Boba
Yeah.
was born just prior to Attack of the Clones.
Right.
26. Okay, so Ahsoka will be roughly 45 years old here.
Wow. Okay. Well, that seems right, I guess. Then, right?
Well, how do they age?
That's what I was gonna say. I'm gonna check her species because, yeah, that would be important. This is great. We're doing great, aren't we? Getting distracted immediately. Well, we're gonna talk about ages for a lot of these characters because there's a lot of stuff here throughout the episode where we're gonna start questioning how old are these people supposed to be.
It does make you think every time. I constantly think that when I'm watching any of these shows or movies.
So
Okay,
then
a Tortuga lives up to about 94 years. Middle age is 55 to 74 is middle age. Adult is 18 to 54.
Right, so a little bit older than human.
Yeah, so she's still an adult, basically.
yeah, so what did you feel about, if I was to ask you guys, what did you feel about her conversation with him? Because I still feel like
With
everything, like with her conversation with the Mandalorian when they're talking, and she is like, I didn't train him. You know, he was asking her about who's training him or whatever, and she goes, I did, it's his choice. And then he was like, he really shouldn't have attachments and stuff. Like, I don't
it seems out of character.
Yeah, did you guys feel like she was the person you remembered? Because I feel like she was, at that point I was like, did she actually learn anything from, because she's not a Jedi, you know what I mean? And so I feel like she should have had a totally different point of view than she had. She basically had a Jedi point of view to me.
Well, at the same time, she knows that the total, like, the Jedi Order ostracized her, essentially. Like, her having, like, the only one having attachment to her, like Anakin, like, it was the reason why she was, like, saved and not, like, basically the Jedi Order completely, like, executing her. And like, his persistence that she was right, she was not wrong, right, when she was framed. But they were just like, nope, it had to be the truth of it. So, seeing that, I don't know why she would immediately fall back on that. Luke, I can play a little more with because he didn't know like 100% of us. He never experienced it. But Ahsoka was there throughout it all, throughout the whole war and the fall.
So I'm saying that I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I needed to see more growth from her, and I feel like she was very easily going right back into, at least not. I mean, I guess because she's not a Jedi, she doesn't really have a say. But you're there, you're on the planet, you see what's going on, and it's like,
technically, she still outranks Luke in terms of they say Luke's the last master, but like, she technically speaking was.
Yeah, I mean, she's not a Jedi, so I don't know how much sway she has, but I just needed more growth from her, I guess. Like, I just wanted some, like, she was an outspoken person as a character for most of her life, and now she's just kind of like, well, you know, it is what it is, you know. Give me the shirt, I'll hand it to him, bro. Yeah, that's what it seemed like, man.
But she was right about him showing up and just disturbing his training. I mean,
all right, let me see how this goes right quick. Let me see. Oh, there they go. They're the little robots things. It's funny because it didn't mute us, and it normally mutes us, so we can talk about this. I kind of like this. There she is. There you can see them building it over. It's just really weird. Why did it mute us? It normally mutes us. I wish I could get it to do that every time. Why can I?
It caught me off guard, so I was hearing the
like, how do I get it to do that? It normally mutes us. That was the greatest thing ever.
You probably didn't give it audio.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I don't know. Maybe I didn't. Oh yeah, because I had to figure out where the other one came from.
That's how we do the holiday special.
And then we got
I hope so.
Luke and Grogu. We see them out there playing with frogs.
Right.
And Grogu, as we know, he loves to eat. That son of a gun. They eat a lot for being so tiny. And he's like, Grogu. Now, here's what I saw it, and then I actually Googled it, and it actually might have came from his shout outs. We shouted him out 2 times. Who was that? What was the name of that group that you said that clip came from?
New Rockstars?
Yeah, New Rockstars. And I think New Rockstars, shout out to them. I'm gonna keep shouting them out since apparently the person I got it from just apparently lifted it from them. So I'll have to put their name in the description now. And I believe he kind of said it too. And I was thinking that it seems like because he was he wasn't speaking strangely, but I felt like he was speaking very measured. And I think they were trying to keep him from having a lot of puh and tuh. And he was almost talking, and the new Rockstar guy said the same thing. It was almost like he was talking the back of his throat, so his lips wouldn't move as aggressively. So he was like, "How is it back home?"
So, do you want to
so
say interesting? Do you know what the voice was to that?
What do you mean?
To Luke?
I'm assuming it was still Mark Hamill.
I found out. Mark Hamill did not speak a single line of dialogue for this. No human did. It was a voice synthesizer.
That's weird.
Oh, how about that?
Is what they did was they had fed it. So the same thing as how the deepfake works, but for voices, where they upload multiple voice lines, different tones, and everything, and then you give it script, and it modulates and creates a word. So that's why sometimes when you heard him talking, it sounded a little stiff when it was like a run-on sentence. So that confused me because I was like, "Oh, it sounded really good." Because I thought it was Mark Hamill doing the voice, and he was like subduing himself because he was trying to make him sound a little younger than he was.
I'll keep talking.
But
why would they do that though? Like, can't they just modify what he says somehow?
I would think that too. You think it would be easier to have Mark do the lines and then just de-age the voice almost, but I don't know how. You think it would be easier to do that than visually, de-aging someone visually than it would de their voice down. But maybe they just wanted to do. I don't know because they did that. They did the same thing, the voice modulation for the end of Mandalorian, which made sense, I think, because it was only like 3-4 lines, and this like they could have just had him there. Mind you, he had his credit. He had a credit in the.
If that's the case, I mean, call me impressed. I think they did a pretty good job then.
Oh, I definitely did. Because I didn't think it was. I thought it was him 100%.
Yeah,
and that's what caught me off guard, especially because like at the end of the episode, he has his credit. Mark Hamill is credited. Obviously, probably credited him because they basically used his likeness and his likeness of his voice.
Well, they used footage from the original.
Yeah, they had used footage to work on the deepfakes and everything. So.
Okay, so then he kind of pulled the Yoda thing when he wanted him to notice that you're thinking small, my little friend. You're trying to sneak a frog. When I can lift all the frogs and have them all at once.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but then, eventually I did like the part where they were walking.
That's probably my single favorite moment in the episode was that moment where he's walking, he's slowly lifting him along, and he's telling him about Yoda and everything. And then, it goes into the surprise of the episode. I didn't expect at all to see. I was already surprised to see Luke and Grogu in the first place, but to see this scene.
Yeah.
I did assume you got that clip or no?
Are you talking about the Order 66 scene?
Order 66.
Yep, I do have it. It's weird because who directed this show, this particular one?
This episode, Filoni.
Okay, here's the thing about it though, because they've had professional directors do it, and the girl, the one that did episode
Bryce Dallas Howard did the Mandalorian episode.
Yeah, she did really well, but then there was the other moron who did the second one or whatever. These are professional directors, and that to me was shot so amazing for like a Star Wars fan. I don't know anything about the actual how movies are shot and if it's done correctly, but as a Star Wars fan, seeing all the lights, seeing the colors, seeing
Especially the reflections off
the reflection in his eyes, seeing that he's taking this all in and he realizes and understands what's happening. I just thought it was an amazing shot. And there's a theory out there that he is in the R2-D2. Yeah, that's right.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, because he's clearly in something, they're saying, because this troopers just go right past him like they don't see them, so they say he's clearly hiding in something. So they say he's hiding inside of R2-D2.
I don't think R2-D2 would make sense to me.
I don't know how he's seen through R2-D2 is my point. My first thing was, how does he see through him?
Well, the only other thing is no, it wouldn't be, because you see the reflections super clearly off his eyes. Yeah. You would see a reflection of something he's housed in.
Wasn't R2-D2 somewhere else?
Yeah, he was
there. He pulled up with him, and then I guess when he comes back, he's freaking out, telling the Golden Dork that something happened. He's like, but I think it's because they just saw Anakin murder a bunch of people.
Get away from this guy.
I think that's probably why he was freaking out. Did you know what just happened to this mass murderer over here? So no, I don't think so. But he clearly was hiding, because they don't ever say like, "There goes one. Look, it's Yoda's baby." He doesn't say anything. They just go, "Oh," they go, "Let's go," and it's like they don't even see him. So
I guess it's true. They didn't really see him. I mean, they weren't looking down; they were looking up. That also leads to the other idea, like still the mystery of how did he get out of there, and I have a theory, I have my speculation I'll put forth.
And here's the other thing I wonder about when it comes to him. I know it's Star Wars and they retcon stuff all the time and they don't really cross all their T's and dot all their I's, but he seems to be a secret Padawan because no one's ever mentioned him in anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, how are they going to explain that? No one's ever mentioned him. He was there for
he could be new.
No, they said he was there. He was there during getting trained. They said he was a Padawan being trained.
We never saw him. That's all. We never saw him.
No, but they said it.
We never saw him get trained. Like we didn't need to see him get trained. He just started getting trained.
Okay, but someone had to.
He went to the washroom and all the air younglings got slaughtered.
Let me tell you something. from Caleb or whatever his name is, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, nobody's like, "Hey, there's a damn baby Yoda back at the base. Did anybody see if he got out?" Like, nobody mentions him ever. That's a little. I know that's Star Wars. That's how they do things. But I figure somebody had to have mentioned that the damn baby
Yoda left him there, so the child support would bounce. He wouldn't have to.
Who's in the cafeteria?
In the cafeteria. And then repeats the process. Yeah. Well, I have a funny one because obviously everyone makes the jokes about Mace Windu being there. They get rid of them. Oh. And I honestly hope, I swear to God, Mace Windu comes back, I'll fucking kill myself. I hate the idea.
You're going to kill yourself because Star Wars has been known to do stupid stuff like that.
Yes, but it'd be a bit ridiculous to me. But I think something that's likely in my mind would be Jocasta Nu, the librarian. Because we do know for a fact that she got out of Order 66. She was there. And we go to see her hiding stuff and whatnot for like archiving.
But wouldn't she have to pass him off to somebody though? She didn't get him out herself because she gets killed by Anakin.
No, she doesn't. She gets killed after Order 66 when Anakin's he's going around hunting them. She goes back there when the Inquisitor. Remember this is the Darth Vader comics.
Yeah. Okay.
So she must have got him because she had a document, a list.
Oh, what I'm saying though, she didn't take him and hide somewhere himself.
And Force Padawans. So she could have got him out and dropped him off somewhere.
Well, that's what I'm saying though, but she couldn't have done it completely by herself because she died where she died. So she didn't take him and hide him in the jungle herself. She had to have passed him off to somebody.
Yeah, which is where it leads eventually him getting passed.
And again, I want to point out my shrine back here to the greatest Jedi, the only great Jedi to ever live. He doesn't care that Baby Yoda's running around somewhere. There's only, as far as we know, 3 in existence. He'd be like, there's a blonde-headed kid over here named Luke. I got to follow this guy around. You know what I mean? He's a chosen one. I gotta watch him.
Grand Inquisitor, Spec Alert.
Oh my God! You know what? Yoda? Listen, if it came out of the Canadian's mouth and right here, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Spec Alert. On the next episode of the Book of Mandalorian, the Inquisitor makes an appearance. No, he's not. So I don't even know where. Oh, so after that, we got to that point because he was said, my master Yoda. He said, he talked funny. Do you talk funny? Do you remember talking funny? Do you remember anything? I can help you with that. I didn't realize that Luke had the power. Now, Luke in the books is basically God. He can pretty much do whatever he wants to, depending on who's writing the book. But I didn't know he had the ability to lay hands, and then your memories come back. I didn't know he had that power. So Luke is the one that gave him the ability to see his memories.
Mm-hmm. Vietnam.
Let me ask you this: do you think later on he decides, I'm going to show you the Mandalorian came by and he brought you this gift, or hold on, I got something real shiny and it's a lightsaber and it's small just like you. It's from my man. And you got to pick one. To me, that right there, I hope they're going to spin that in some kind of way, whether it's a comic book or not, that he realizes what he did, and that's why he changed his attitude. Because to me, having that, pick one or the other, that's very old school Jedi, and I was hoping we're going to move away from this. Because, in Legend, he does. In Legend, he's more like...
Well, I wonder if there's one thing to it. I wonder if he actually is giving him a choice, or there's like a double... Like he's gonna give him the choice. He picks, and then he kind of goes he gives him. He explains himself out. It's not like him actually telling you, okay, now you gotta leave, or now you stay. It's explaining the idea, or something or another.
Here's a question I'll ask both of you guys with an answer, and then I guess also Lopez in the chat. Was this always the plan, or do you think that there's only one cash cow that Star Wars has had for the last few years, and that is this little green bastard? Do you think they brought them back together this fast? Because it seems quick to me. It seems like we were building up to him going with Luke. All of a sudden, they were right back. I mean, he's back with not even one season. You know what I mean? He's already back. Do you think they did that because they like that cash that's coming in from those two being together, that buddy story of daddy and son? The story doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense.
I think when they accidentally upload. No, it is weird. I mean, because especially with the Mandalorian thing, I guess it makes sense because you had him there, and he's supposed to directly correlate to that. But then to have Ahsoka, to have Luke and Grogu, they have no meaning at all in Boba's story. Mando has a meaning because he's there as an enforcer to help, but taking Boba's story, having Mando come in there to help, and then having Mando have another story pulls back because now you have Ahsoka going off. It's definitely them springboarding, using this just a springboard more or less.
Yeah, it's just weaving all of these series together when they're trying to make a series about Boba, but they're really making an intertwined mega series with all of them, and they're trying to direct everything at different times, but kind of it's seeming like it's all together.
It's kind of funny. Tamora Morrison was like, they should have made this show 10 years ago, he said.
So what was your question though? Do you mean why should he have that decision?
Yes.
Why shouldn't he have? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, whether to go with Luke or is that what you're talking about?
Oh yeah. Because I just think
he's gonna live how much longer? Why wouldn't he just go off with Mandalorian for 30 years?
Just come back and Luke.
Screw Luke.
Come back.
No, I think he was always meant to go back. I just thought it seemed a little fast. It's the last thing we saw in the actual Mandalorian was him, Luke, and the whole series is built up to him meeting a Jedi to be trained. And before the next season even starts, he's already back hanging out with Mando. I'm assuming if he goes back with him.
I knew eventually they would bring him back. He would leave Luke, but I wouldn't have assumed it'd be. I would assume it'd be the final season of Mandalorian, the last episodes. He would leave and go back with him.
Because that's my assumption. My assumption is he's going to leave and go and go back to Mando. That's my assumption. I could be wrong, but I think that is a lot of, obviously Mando is going to be getting shot at, probably hurt. Maybe he'll lose a leg. No, he's not going to. but he'll be shot a lot. You know what I mean? And then I just think
Hopefully he can use that damn saber because he might
Yeah,
lose a leg.
hopefully he takes it from him because he sure can't use the damn saber. All right, so then he tells him make a choice. He's like, and then of course they go away. And then what is the next part that we see?
Oh, the
Well-
bar? Is that scene? Was that
No.
later?
It's later, I think. I didn't get a clip of that, but at one point they decide they're going.
It's Boba's show again. We forgot Boba Fett.
At one, I guess they are in like a
Because they haven't we didn't show Boba at all last episode, and we've actually just shown every other character we've created in the past and used in the past couple of years. We should go back to him.
So they go to this little war room and they're going to discuss their what they have, their positives and their negatives, and then we see the Pikes make their moves. I think it wasn't.
No, that's we see the group together, and then it's Mando go to Cobb Vanth, then the scene, and then it's the Pikes doing their attack. And
so Mando goes to him and says, "Hey, we fought together. Basically, you owe me one, but at the same time, you don't want the spice here. Boba's not going to do spice anymore." Which, by the way, I don't think he asked him if that was okay, so I'm not 100% sure why he gets to speak for him. But I was like, did Boba say that? I didn't remember saying there's no more spice. And he's like, yeah, we'll show up. And then I believe I heard a woo 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 wah 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 because
my only disappointment in that moment was there was no spurs at all.
I will say this: when the what are you doing? Peter Parker's comics. Holy bejesus.
Sorry.
When I saw the shadowy figure walking, I will agree with some people said his hat's not big enough. I understand that you can't make it ridiculous, but they could have made it a little bit bigger than that. It was a little small. But when I saw that, I was not happy. I was actually annoyed because I was terrified of how goofy he was going to look, because I don't like the way Ahsoka's apparently her sexy bits, according to Chris or whatever. I don't like the way that you can kind of see on the edges that they're like rubber, like they have a weird when they wrinkle up, it looks weird to me. It doesn't look, it kind of takes me out of it a bit.
Yeah.
And I was worried about that. Where the hell is this Canadian? You think that this is like the second time we've ever done this show or something?
I'm sorry.
So I'll play this clip.
I think his ramen's ready.
All right. So do you want me to play the clip or what? This is like the most unprofessional thing I've ever seen. What is happening
Give me
here?
a second. I'm right here.
So anyway, this is what I saw.
Cobb Vanth. Whatever Fett is paying you, we'll match. And all you've got to do is stay put and let things play out.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
I'd be careful where I was sticking my nose if I were you. As long as the spice keeps running, everyone will be left alone.
Love it.
So good.
Bake the Snake. What's happening? Badass. I love him. He's one of my favorite characters. As we all know, if you need more of Cad Bane, you can always see the special we did on Cad Bane, the deep dive.
Good timing we did it back then.
You're completely wrong. This is a wrong take, Bake. I will not hold you accountable, but that is a wrong take because he is amazing. Everything he is about fighting Jedi. No, the bounty hunter goes after Jedi. They're not worth it. Cad Bane has basically made himself a Jedi killer. Even like I said, you can go look at our Cad Bane special. It's on here. We did it, a deep dive. Even the hoses to his face, that's not because he can't breathe. That's because he keeps it from being force choked. But that's just ridiculous that somebody did that so they could not be force choked. That tells you all you need to know right there. I don't know. Are we going to see the rocket boots? You
I was
think
just
in the
gonna
final?
say,
I hope so.
I didn't see him on his boots right there. I didn't
He
see him
has a
rock his
big.
boots.
I think it just could be the big cuff of his boot. That's
Cobra, what's happening? Speaking of Star Wars fans, the wind. When Lewis KB knows not blowing. Listen, it needs to. It has to. So I would say this: the look, awesome, attitude, awesome. I think that look he gives him, that dirty look, is because the guy literally said, and I do think the marshal knew what he was doing when he said, "I didn't catch your name," because Cad Bane loves the fact that he's the most famous bounty hunter.
As soon as he looked up, it wasn't his look that scared Van. He was like, "Okay, this is who I think it is."
Yeah. So I think it was the fact that he acted like he didn't know his name, which is what pissed off Cad Bane.
He knows what a Naboo Starfighter is. I'm sure he knows who Cad Bane is.
I did like that they didn't reveal his eyes until he looked. I mean, obviously until he looked up, but you know, he had him speak a little while, and then he looked up. I thought that was pretty neat.
I would say that I was super annoyed the first time I watched it. I thought he looked terrible. I was super pissed because I like him so much. When I watched the second time, I was like, you know what? It's actually pretty good.
Well, it's great because the makeup's really well done, especially the mouth. Like it's you can tell it's real. That's what's so good about it. It looks tangible. It's not like it's fully CGI'd over, right?
Yeah.
So
I think even his eye muscles are animatronic too.
Possibly, or at the very least, they're there, and they did CGI touch-ups just to move some things a little bit and lighting.
Spoiler alert: he's not overrated.
Well, he is now.
Yeah.
Well knows it.
Yeah, now he's ridiculously overrated. Before I seemed to be the only one.
He looks more realistic than Ahsoka. I think.
I would say this actually, just because of how much they keep deciding, they can't tell what kind of Ahsoka they want. That is annoying.
Rubber silicone.
So after looking at it like second and third time, I actually really do like them. They did a good job. I was gonna bitch about his color, but the Canadian said that I don't know how to calendar well, and it has been like 35 years since the last time we saw him. So
yeah,
I'll let that slide. I still don't think you go from
something.
I also don't think you go from dark blue to a baby blue because you age a little bit, but it is what it is. I'm sure there was.
He's been in
he's
Tatooine for a little
70
while.
years old.
You know when you
So you're telling me, look at this.
Yeah,
When I'm 70, I'm going to be whiter than this. Is that what you're telling me? I'm just going to become more white. I can't be more white than this.
no, because you're already white.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Anyways, so he goes off and he shot the sheriff and he shot the deputy.
He definitely killed his deputy.
That deputy's dead. That deputy was dead before he hit the ground. And he kept shooting.
Okay. All my favorite moments in this episode, obviously, was I said Luke pushing Grogu along with the Force. My other moment was the deputy was like, "The Marshal's not for sale," and then Cobb Vanth's face just turns and looks at him like, "You just killed me. You just died because of you." That kind of face, and the deputy just
out of
what?
here.
That was so good. I was like, my heart was like, "Oh, no."
Glad to find out that the voice actor was the same guy.
Yes, very happy they did that.
Yeah.
And
we were talking about that.
They didn't use the voice actor because he's 5'6", and Cad Bane is 6 foot something.
It'd be really weird because we know it was very lanky too, right? But I was gonna say, I was because we talked about that before when they would bring him in live action. That the voice is one of the number one things they needed to nail because it's just it's like iconic as his hat.
And then the only thing I would take away from that, the last part of it is clearly I think he's there for other reasons. He has a long history with Boba. He was basically his daddy when his daddy died. I think there's something personal because he kept saying he's a killer and he works for the Empire. So clearly I think he's there to make some credits, but also I think he's a little more personal, clearly, than than possibly what he was just there for the business sake.
Mm.
And then around and become buddies.
And that's when we find out that the Pike do have a plan, and their plan is to set it all on fire. They bomb, which I guess there was a lot of fanboys very sad because they thought that she was a very attractive lady. And they blew her ass smooth up.
There's more important character that I'm more scared of dying.
Are you talking about the little blue son of a gun?
Well, here's the funny thing: you don't actually see him there. You don't see
Yeah.
him. You see the rest of the band, but not him.
I saw this funny thing that somebody, if I can remember it, I'll send it to you. It was just a funny thing. I mean, I'll credit you. It was a funny thing. He was talking, and he randomly said, "That guy is a Sith." He was joking because he said like that's like the third time he's evaded death when everybody else dies, and he seems to always be in the area, but he happens just to leave right before every member of his band dies.
So what I found funny, I watched the video and they're talking about like he had like the insider information, like someone tipped him off, right? But because I was wondering, was he actually there on the sail barge? And when they showed a clip from the movie when R2 was not R2, was one of the air droids going around with the table.
You're talking about the blue guy, right?
Yeah, Max Rebo. Yeah,
Max,
I didn't even say his name at all. No, Max Rebo. You do see him in the background for a split second on his piano. So he was there on the sail barge. So he did get out of that explosion live to show up here. And if he survives this explosion too, I think I think he might be having some ties.
I think he's immune.
He's immune.
So I think that's it. That's pretty much all the big things, right? I don't remember any other big points of that show.
Yeah, no. I mean, so technically, Star Wars. So technically speaking, they said that this is speculation for obviously for tonight's episode was like Boba Fett was there, Mando, Black Chrysanthemum, Fennec, and then the 5 mods, and they're like, we have enough enforcers now, off of 2 people, and they said the mods aren't enough, that we need like an army, and that's why they go to Cobb Vanth. So I really have no idea what they're going to do for the final episode, because like they have two guys as enforcers and like five teenagers. Like the army they're going to get, I would have assumed it was Tusken Raiders, but I guess not. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, because I think he would have pulled them by now. I mean, unless we're going to have some kind of dramatic thing at the end where they come rushing in.
They would have been good at the entrance of like that whole line, because you see, as they know to walk in single file.
I don't think so.
To see a mile of them walking into town, that would have been a cool shot.
If anything, they didn't kill the marshal and the Freetown people show up. That's about all I could. And I don't know how good of an army that is. But you forgot we have the greatest army, and it's called the Disney/Star Wars army, because you have the Asian chick who's more Boba than Boba. She's Miss Boba Fett now. She's gonna do something. She's gonna like take on half the army by herself and kill them all. We know that's coming.
Yeah.
You have the Team Rocket, the chick on Team Rocket. She's gonna save the day at some point. You know that's happening. And Boba,
if she shanks Cad Bane,
I will never watch Star Wars again. I swear to God. If she kills Cad Bane, I will
just shanks him. Just shanks him.
No. The eBay store is open and everything goes for $1. I'm gonna tell you right now, like I will never watch Star Wars again if she kills Cad Bane.
That's an idea. Sorry, I wanted to put out for you guys. Do you think it's possible they would just kill Cad Bane next episode because he's 70, and because like this is like a moment where Boba's really old and he's really old? This would be like it would make sense in a final duel aspect.
And it also makes sense. I don't want to admit it, but it makes sense for that old Western too. You have, you're the
final showdown,
the evil kind of dad character who had his evil little boy with him. He turned and became a good guy, and then now he's got to kill. It's kind of like the reverse of the one that will not be spoken of, killing his dad in the movie that will not be spoken. It's kind of like the reverse of that. No, Bake, we don't watch the final before we do the review from the night before. So I do think
I'm watching immediately when we get off.
I do think that they're going to fight. And part of me kind of wonders, there's like a 5% chance that last second Cad Bane will come to his side, but I don't think so, because I'll be really pissed that happens.
That would be worse if it just killed him.
Yes. So I do think they're going to fight at the end. I'm not really sure why Cad Bane is so hating of him. We don't know, but because he was in a damn Scarlac pit, so I'm not 100%
But it must be the final encounter they had, which is when which was the unfinished episode, which I'm assuming they're going to canonize in this moment, because
that's also why, because we know who wrote this episode. We know who wrote the one where the reason why he got the dent in his head came from Cad Bane. So he obviously wanted that to go down. So like this is his opportunity for it to go down. Which is sad, because I like Cad Bane.
Better not die. That's all I gotta say.
Cad Bane's going down.
If he
Here's the
dies,
question.
will Boba put the hat on his helmet, or will he just have the helmet
No,
off
no,
and just
no,
the hat
no,
on?
don't.
He'll just get a ding in his hat. That's it.
Here's the other question I have: will it be silly, or will you be okay with it for storytelling purposes in the future if none of the good guys die? Because to me, it's setting up for got the old samurai movies, you got the old westerns where everybody dies, but like that one tragic character. To me, Boba Fett's gonna live. I don't think he's gonna die.
Tragically, it'd be so tragic if every one of those mod teenage bikers died.
Oh, that would be horrible.
I mean, really, it would be a sad moment for the community.
I got news for you. They're not dying. Not to like the three.
They're gonna be at the funeral for. Well, okay, Chrysanthemum ain't dying. Mando ain't dying.
No.
Mods
are not dying. At least the 2 or 3 are dying.
Fennec?
No.
Probably not.
And Boba won't die. He'll end up in his sumo underwear, though.
I'm going to ignore. I'm not even going to spotlight that because I'm ignoring. I'm ignoring Chris's comment. They're not the future.
Omega would come back and become.
Because the way it actually should happen, right, is that maybe Mando, just because of who he is and the path that he's on, should be the last alive. They all should die. This is how all this old school samurai movies are done. This is how the old school western done. You take the Magnificent 12 or whatever, the 12 samurai, all that. Everybody dies but Mando. I don't think Star Wars has the balls to pull that off. So I think, unfortunately, everybody lives. I don't think anybody dies. Except for I think they're going to kill off Cad Bane because that's what his original intent was before the Clone Wars ended. He was going to kill off Cad Bane then. So
yeah, like that's my only assumption. I mean, I'm only 5% less confident that Dengar will. I'm actually pissed off that.
Yeah, sorry, Magnificent 7.
There's no way that they are introducing any more bounty hunters here because there's literally like 50 minutes of episode left. There's no way they're going to bring in anyone else.
No, not at this point. I don't think so. I mean, he needs. I don't know how big they're going to make the Pike. They can make them as big or small as they want.
The hilarious of all your bounty hunter show, they all just die.
Here's the question.
IG will live.
Here's the question, not for the chat, since apparently all the chats watched the episode. So it's just for you two. Will Ka-Chung be happy with the display of firepower and murdering skills, or lack of murdering skills, that Boba has? At the end of this thing, will you say he went out? I don't think he's going to die. I just mean, at the end of the episode, that's my man. He fought his ass off. He looked awesome. Or are you going to say they kind of made him look like a bitch?
They've already made him look like a bitch.
But this is the time to redeem himself.
Would this episode redeem the Book of Boba for him? Would it redeem him for you? This episode was very good.
Yeah, I bloody hope so.
I kind of think it has to, though, because if they are going to say that he's going to run that planet, he can't be the whipping boy the entire time. He can't have. They're not going to let Mando look like a fool. Mando's going to look like a badass because he's the king. He's the star. He's the star of the
Saber. They're not gonna. So there's 7 episodes. This is 5 and 6 were just different show altogether. Episode 2 was great. 3 was shit. So 1 and 4 were like okay, the fine zone. So if this is really good, then I think it would make the show better, worth watching still. I think.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty good. I mean, I'm worried about it, but I think it's gonna be okay.
Cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
That when he was in his ship, was firing on those speeders. That was the best Boba moment in this whole series so far.
Yeah, honestly.
After he learned how to drive his ship again.
When he got his learner's permit returned back to him after he went to the DMV and got it renewed.
And so I also wonder, at what point do we get the decision of Grogu? Is he going to come back before the fight starts, the middle of the fight, after the fight?
I don't think we're going to see it at all. Honestly, it's not going to be brought up. It would. I feel like it would affect the pacing a lot. Also, how would he get back? How would he get there? Is Luke going to bring him there? Is Luke going to take his X-Wing and drop him off and then just disappear?
I don't know. I think he will make an appearance, even if it's at the end, 30 seconds. Just because you're forgetting about money. It's not story.
No, you know what? End credits. I forgot. They They haven't done the end credit for any of the episodes. Like the Marvel shows, they did them near the last couple episodes. They would do an end credit, and they haven't done one yet. So I think the end credit's going to be the Grogu stuff. I don't think it's going to be in the episode because it's going to affect the pacing completely. It'll like put it to a halt.
End the credit scene. Good.
All right, I think that's it. You guys have any final things? Okay, what is going to be your 1 out of 10 for this episode? What did you think it was going to be?
As an episode, 9 out of 10.
Wow, that's high.
As a Book of Boba Fett episode,
Yeah.
6 out of 10. Because
Right.
before about a quarter of the episode, 2/4 of the episode wasn't Book of Boba Fett.
Chung, what do you got?
Yeah, 8 for me.
Yeah, I'd say 8.5. We're all around there. I thought it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then last Grogu, Jedi, Mandalorian. What is he?
I
You
don't
think he's a
we
combo
find
bro?
out.
Couch surfer.
I don't think we find out. I think
I don't think we'll
that
find
they
out.
left it on that cliffhanger and they'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I think that's what they do too.
I still say when we do find out if it's next week or future, he's Mandalorian because that's just there are
if
too
we
many
find out-
non-Star Wars nerds who love that buddy
Yeah.
story. It's just too much money on the table. For
That's
them.
that's right. It's the merchandise.
Well, we'll give him the dark saber is the question. Will we let him hold it?
Hey, you know what though? Like, listen, there's something to be said about that because he will be a Jedi and a Mandalorian because he's a foundling and he's a Padawan. So he will be like the guy who made the lightsaber, a Mandalorian. He'll be the first Mandalorian / Jedi since the dark saber was there. Now I don't know how the hell he's going to wield it since the shaft is bigger than him. You like that one, Chris? That was for you. That was free. You can take that and run with it. So I don't know how he would wield it, but yeah, it does. Are we doing the comic books things tonight?
Yeah.
Because Chris
I
really
may
screwed that up,
disappear
so-
because I got about 5 minutes of battery.
What is the what is it under? I don't even know what it's under.
Just the Google Drive.
I know, but what is it called?
Each thing I have like
Oh, okay, I see it now.
news and new comic book day stuff. Like you will see them all. But if you want to, before Katrina leaves, open the package. I got.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, do it. I got literally 5
So
minutes.
he told me that he left the pack. He bought it something on eBay. It's at my. He's smiling way too much. So I'm not really thrilled about this, to be honest with you. And he said it's on the front porch, and I said there's nothing on my front porch, and he said, I said maybe it's in the mailbox. It's too big for the mailbox. Like I said, like other ladies in his life, they're disappointed because it was not too big. It was not too goddamn buku. It was nice and small actually.
It was the perfect size.
I don't want to hurt it.
I told him to leave me. I said to leave a note.
Wow,
there.
it's getting smaller and smaller, by the way, because now it's even smaller.
That small?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe. Okay, I definitely.
You didn't read the description? It's a Japanese scroll at this point. It's the punk rocker Hut statue. God, I hope so.
I should have got. That'd be amazing. Did you see it?
You're a jackass. Why would you show me this? You spent money on this? Why the hell would you buy me this? And you had him sign it?
Oh,
Wait, what? It's signed?
yeah.
Oh, I said, could you please leave a note saying from yours truly, Hoser?
Yeah, and he did.
My friend.
Wow. You spent money on this?
eBay bucks.
Why would
eBay
you
bucks.
buy? You're a jackass. Thank you for the gift, because everybody's probably wondering why he's not a very nice person. He bought him a gift and he's calling him names. I was wondering why you were laughing so hard. Here I'm thinking it's gonna be something nice, and it's freaking Omega. Oh my god. Yes, I know Chris would like that. Chris is like, yeah, damn, that's a good one.
I hope it goes up on the wall.
I'll put it in my daughter's room. She'll wonder why it's there.
When we do Bad Batch season 2, it's gonna be
His favorite.
Oh my god, dude. All right, can you guys see this?
Yes.
Oh my god, right into my next favorite one. This is my day. It's my luckiest day ever.
So, that's so new comic book day stuff. You got Star Wars Adventures 14, A cover, Ray on it. You know, that's it. And then there was
It's not even tick.
That one's
Or
better
with
because you
that,
can't even
or
really
with-
make out that it's her. I'd rather have this one if anybody's wondering, because you can't even make out who that is.
someone's unfinished sketch. Yeah.
Woo!
Fun
Go
one
straight
of
to
this one. Darth Vader
Yeah,
number 20.
Put it on the wall.
Nice.
This one's an exciting one.
That's not bad.
It's got 2 other variants, one of which we know a lot about. This one's great. I love this one.
It's not bad. This is the one that Chris said he was getting me, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. This is the one Chris
So
said he was
yeah, the
getting me.
Mandalorian. The first appearance of Mandalorian in comics, or the cover appearance. And our little Grogu too. Don't forget him actually.
Oh, like a Thundercat. I thought that was a Thundercat at first. That is a horrible. Oh my god.
Yeah, honestly, not great. Hold
my hand. It's like Thelma and Louise. Hold my hand. We'll make it together.
They're running out of the washroom. So Trial Shadows. Yep, another issue in that. This is something I found funny.
I just thought it was horrible until I saw who was the baby, and now I kind of like it.
There was something I found, which is when I was looking at new comic book day stuff, and it was like a parody comic. It said the Mandalorian, and there was like 3 covers.
Nice.
There were 3 covers, but this was a great one because I had a little George Lucas. This one here. So this is the they have a omnibus coming out called Rise of the Sith. So it covers a lot of the pre. Sorry.
Which one? Is he having internet issues again? I don't know. Anyway, what is it?
It covers a bunch of issues from like mini series with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon together, as well as his first Darth Maul run and the episode 1 tie-ins, along with a ton of Star Wars Tale issues.
I think he took pain medicine. Now he's drunk or something. I don't know what's going on with him.
You okay, Christian? Okay, this is all jumbled up, I guess. Never mind. Anyways, that was the B cover. Think he's bouncing.
What B cover?
That was the B cover to it.
Yeah, I need that one.
Yeah, it's all jumbled around. I think.
It's the last of those 5. The 5, I think.
Yeah.
So next time you go on eBay, you jerk, maybe buy something like this instead. I'm just saying. Anyways, now we're on to news, I assume.
News, yeah. So this is interesting. So Star Wars 1313, there was some footage that got leaked that was like pre-alpha. Like basically the game was still being developed, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of footage that wasn't fully visualized yet, but it was like a scene from a mission, and it looked pretty great, honestly. And so it was just more is coming out from that game about what happened before, they got on
Mr. Grell Discord, you would already know about this. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
I like the fig.
Sorry?
There's a figure variant type looking one.
You must be like way behind us or something.
I'm about to.
That is so amazing. He gone. Okay, what's up with the Andor?
So Andor, here's something interesting. They already got greenlit for season 2 of the show.
What? When was the season 1? I must have missed it. Did I miss it? Was it on Disney Plus? Where was it?
So it's not even greenlit. And here's the interesting thing. They said that the first season it's actually taken longer to film than Mandalorian did because it's 12 episodes opposed to the 7-8 episodes. And they were going to consider splitting in the 2 seasons, and they said no, they're going to make it a single 12 episode season.
Oh, I like that. I like they did that, though.
And they confirmed that, they already greenlit a second. So they must be very confident that this is great, unlike Book of Boba Fett, where they didn't announce it immediately.
I don't know if they're going to either. They're going to say, you know what? I think we can answer any questions we have left with Boba on Mandalorian, I believe.
Yeah. This one is this is the thing. This is the news 2 hours ago.
Sorry, I mean,
a couple hours now.
That's an inappropriate noise I made. I apologize for that.
So this is the first official poster for Obi-Wan Kenobi. The Disney Plus.
Buy me this poster, you damn jerk, instead of the damn Omega. How about that one?
And on top of that, if you see the little Wording on the bottom, it is releasing May 25th.
Ooh,
So nice summer start.
nice. That's pretty soon. Ooh,
I know, exciting.
tingles.
The trailer's gonna be great when they eventually do it. This is another fun little Lego release they had. So it's 3 little statuettes of
Weird.
X-wing pilot helmet, a Mando's helmet, and then the droid, the dark Fey.
Dark thing.
What is it called? The
robots.
yes, the Dark Troopers.
How come this wasn't on my Discord? Because that would have been nice, but that's fine. Neither here nor there.
I did not so long ago.
Interesting. I like the helmet on the is that supposed to be a Skywalker's helmet? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
I kind of like that one. The rest of, they're cool, but
I imagine clearance being cool, but not.
Ooh, they're a little tinier than I thought they were going to be. Actually.
Yeah, so when I saw that picture, I had to add it because I thought they were a lot bigger.
Yeah, I thought they were going to be like
the
real
size
size.
of your hand.
Yeah, I don't know how I like that now. I thought they were going to be real size, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually like the Mandalorian one better now that I see it right there. Actually. Oh, speaking of, hello,
it skipped an image. So, yeah, basically they had announced that there was going to be an Obi-Wan mini series coming out, 5-issue. And
God damn it! I got to buy comic books again.
And yeah, so it's going to be taking place obviously around the time of his exile. So I wonder if this is going to connect into the show at all directly, or if they're going to just this is kind of preamble for it. But that's the A cover, the Phil Noto A cover for it. The B cover, which I think is amazing.
Son of a bitch.
Your favorite's the next one, though.
That is horrible, but I'll probably buy it.
Which is a shame.
I'm gonna buy it. It's like I'm gonna buy it. Is it a 1 in 25 or anything?
These are regular variants. I'm pretty sure 3 of them.
Oh no, you're good, Kachung. You're good. Don't worry about it.
God
damn it! Where am I gonna get it from? I don't have a damn ring anymore. I guess that's it. Okay.
Yeah, that would be it.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to find somebody who will buy me those comics because I guess I can buy them online, but I guess I have to buy them from like Midtown or something. Because even the I didn't have one near me anyway, but the one that was like 45 minutes away they closed that down during COVID, so I don't even have one that close anymore. I think Titan Comics, which is like an hour and some away, is my closest one, and I'm not driving an hour there, an hour back to buy a comic book once every week or how often that thing's coming out. I'm not doing all that. All right, well, there we go. I think that covers it.
Yeah.
We have our what we think is happening next week. Apparently, we are completely wrong because there's a lot of laughing faces and everything in the comment section. So apparently, nothing we're saying is right.
Well, next week we'll cover the last episode, the finale.
We will cover the last one,
and then we'll go back to our regular scheduled character spotlights that we come up with on last.
I think the next one will be the Black Bigfoot.
Black. Oh, we're doing the Black. Yeah, we're doing Black Chrysanthemum next.
Yeah, I think that would be proper because I think he might show up in a few more shows too.
That's the thing because we already talked about Cad Bane and the other characters are pretty big or they haven't had enough appearances to talk about yet. So Black Chrysanthemum is probably the best bet. After that, we might do a little talk on some Tuskens and Jawas. Depending on how we feel.
All right, well, I think that's it. Thank you everybody for coming out. If you like what you see, you can, sub or follow. Also, I'll be on Twitch in like probably 30, 45 minutes. And we will catch you guys next time. Have a great night.
See you guys.